Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is still morning for us. It's 9:30. I just put my watch back on. I took it off because it wasn't working. You don't care. But I probably missed like 3 flights of stairs and 100 steps at least, so I'm kind of mad about it. But anyways, today we're just going to do some random odds and ends. I thought we were going to end up running, having appointments and things like that today, but they were canceled. So I've already washed dishes and I'm going to start a little project. Let me show you what we're doing. So I have a lot of garlic peels here. This is the garlic that it came from. All those peels from this little bit of garlic. But I'm going to try to ferment some garlic in honey. And so I purchased 3 sleeves of organic garlic. I think I'm just going to do 3 bulbs to start with. And then see if this works. This is our first time doing this. My littles are with me at the table, so it's kind of loud down here. We're also having leftover pizza because yesterday was our Costco day and we haven't finished putting away the groceries. So all I've done is peel. I'm going to put them in the jar and then add some raw honey in there. I'm just cutting up some of the larger pieces before I put them in. I don't think you have to. I just, some of them are really big, and since we've never done this, I'm not sure what it'll taste like. So I'm going to cut up some of the bigger ones. I've been trying putting the garlic in a jar and then shaking it to peel the garlic. So a lot is on the lid here. That's why I had a separate jar. Originally I was going to put the fermented honey garlic in here, but I was getting some peels left over in the jar. So it does, I did this is like, well, now my 3rd time, right? Because I did 3 bulbs, but it takes it off enough to where I can kind of peel what's left. And then I just do it a couple of times depending on how much more needs to be off. But this is the first time that I had tried shaking it to get the peels off, and not bad. Okay, so I've got all my garlic in here. This was about 3 cloves and it filled up about half this jar. So I hope I have room. I think I should. I ended up purchasing just some raw honey from our grocery store because I am just about out of the honey we usually get from Azure. And I didn't do an Azure pickup this month. So we'll use this. And I used to have a local honey, like a local person, but they moved. So I've got to find a new person, a new honey supplier. Okay, then we're just gonna pour it over. Kind of just eyeballing it to see as it sinks down, but you definitely want to have your garlic covered. So it's supposed to get more watery as time goes on, as it ferments, right? So I'm debating if I want to put a little bit more honey in there or if that's enough, because you can turn it over. Maybe I'll just put a little bit more just in case. I've almost used, this was a 16-ounce container and I've used about half of it so far. So about half of this, when I'm done, will probably be like 3/4 of it. I used almost the whole thing and 3 cloves of garlic. And it's got a good covering on it. I'm excited. I hope this comes out. Okay, let me get a lid on this, put this in a dark spot, and get on with something else for the day. I'm just cutting up some of these peppers that we had here on the counter and I needed to get cleaned. Some parts were already going not so great, going bad, going not so great. Anyways, I have these peppers that were sitting in the fridge and we didn't get to them. I thought we would, but we didn't. So I'm going to freeze them. I'm going to chop them up and freeze them so that we don't waste them. I think what I'm going to do today is just kind of tidy up my kitchen again. As you know, if you've been on this channel for a while, the kitchen is the place that's always messy for us. I mean, I'm sure you can see in the background, everything's kind of always a flutter here, but I'm working on it. I'm gonna clean up though in the kitchen and get some kitchen projects done. We just had our monthly grocery haul, and so I had a chance to clean out the fridge before that. I thought I did, but I don't think I did that great of a job. So I'm gonna tidy up, pull some stuff out, and just kind of catch up with that stuff. And so let's see how much I can get done, though. I can get pretty overwhelmed and stack too many projects on my plate, and so I'm trying really hard not to do that. I'm just gonna take it one little project at a time. So we're gonna cut the peppers, put them in the freezer, and then I think next I will get into the fridge. I can't remember what I was saying. I have to pause for a mom moment and do mom things, but I'm gonna get these peppers in the freezer and then go from there, I guess. I really need to sit down and make a game plan for some of the things I want to accomplish, because I can get overwhelmed by putting too many mental projects in my mind. Does that make sense? So like I'm looking around and I'm like, oh, that needs to be done, that should be done, that should be inventoried, that should be put in the freezer. And then I'm overwhelmed because I'm like, oh, that's so much stuff that I have to do. I'm always gonna have so much stuff to do. There's always things to do. But I think it helps when I put it down on paper, and then I can pick and choose what's gonna take the bigger priority for me in the day. So I'm gonna get the peppers done. I'm gonna relax and just watch a video while I chop it up real quick, and then maybe we'll make that list. So I have one small bag, like a quarter of a bag here, of bigger diced, and then about half a sandwich bag here of sliced. So this will go in the freezer so it doesn't get wasted. I kind of have been putting this project off. It's been on the counter for a day and a half, so glad we got that done. You could lay it out on a tray and freeze it, but I'm just gonna do it in the bag like this. Got some steak cooking here. And then down here I took out my Instant Pot. So a couple days ago on the weekend, my husband made us some steaks, but I think that there was extra and it was in the fridge. And I didn't want it to go bad because it's from a local farmer that we get here. I'll link that if you want to see the first time we purchased or something like that. But anyways, I found it in the fridge and I wanted to cook it up. So my oldest and I are gonna share it. We're gonna have a steak salad, so we're gonna have a really nice lunch. And then I also wanna get some more elderberry syrup made. We are just about out. This is all we have left. We're a family of 5, and this is a little bit less than a cup, and so we take a tablespoon every day when we're on like preventative, and then if any of us is feeling down or sick, we up it to like 2 tablespoons a couple times a day. But I want to get some more of that going because 'tis the season, all that stuff, and there's nothing worse than having to make that when you already don't feel good, right? So I'm going to get that going too. So I'm going to finish cooking up this steak and then get this in the Instant Pot. I've got my water boiling. You can probably hear that in the background. I decided that I'm gonna go ahead and do my kombucha, or get the first ferment going. I haven't done kombucha in a long time. So what I have in my jars right now is probably vinegar, or super, super strong kombucha, but unflavored. So I'm going to, I already have some vinegar saved up. I'm gonna use this kombucha vinegar and maybe like descale. I usually descale our coffee maker and our water filter, or our kettle, water kettle when I have vinegar. It already have some in another jar that I save for like cleaning and things like that. I don't think that I need any more. So I'm gonna get the kombucha ready though, because it's another thing that I've been meaning to do and haven't done. This is sugar. I'm gonna put a cup of sugar in, and I have 7 tea bags. That's just what I found works best for us, but you can play around with that number. I might have a video on here where I make kombucha and some different flavorings if you want a more in-depth view at that. But 2 kombucha jars going, so I have 2 pots going or ready for the water and tea. My Instant Pot already went off with the elderberry syrup, so I'm going to get the honey for that and let it cool. One of the things I like to do when I use tea bags is to gather all my tea bag labels, I guess, and put a clothespin there, just so when I go to pour the water in, sometimes your tea bag will like fall in there, and this will add a little weight to it so it doesn't tip on in there. And yes, my stove is dirty. It's only not dirty the minute after I clean it, because 2 minutes after that, it's probably time to cook again and it's dirty. So it's on the list of things to do. Maybe not today's list, but on the list. So my water already warmed up. I'm gonna put 2 cups in each to start and just get that sugar melted. I washed dishes for what feels like the 80th time today, but that's okay. At least they're clean again for now until we eat lunch, which is what's up next. But dishes are clean from, it's probably only maybe like the 3rd time I've washed a lot of dishes. But that's, I think, like, that's just the life of our kitchen. Let me show you the kombucha, what it's looking like. It looks like, because I hadn't done it for so long, that the liquid was getting low, the kombucha. So I think what I'll do, because I have 2 right now and we're slow to drink it in the winter. In the summer, we drink a lot more, but in the winter, it's a little harder because it's a colder drink. But I think what I will do is make one of my jars more of a SCOBY hotel, which just means you're going to put your kombucha SCOBYs all in one and just kind of use it for storage, more so than actually brewing your kombucha. And then when we get a little bit more honey in, I will make some kombucha SCOBY gummies.
And they're called orange.
That's right. They're called orange, and they are orange, huh? My little man is in the kitchen with me having an orange, and we're discussing all the philosophical things. Is that a word? Anyways, so let me show you that, and then we'll make some SCOBY gummies when I have more honey. But right now I don't have any honey. I used the last of our giant jar. We had this big jar from Azure, and I used the last of it. This was 6 pounds. And like I said, I didn't get a chance to do an Azure order this month. So looks like I'll probably definitely have to try to get one in for next month. Here's our kombucha. So you can see the liquid is low. Usually it's up to here. And I've got, look at this SCOBY. If you don't, if you don't do kombucha, I know this can be really weird. But the SCOBYs still look really good. So I'm excited about that. So I'm going to get this done. And then I think I'm going to make lunch for everybody. And I'm probably going to take a break. Okay, we've got clothes drying in the back. My oldest is doing some laundry as well, but that's how we're gonna close out the video. I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna have my salad, I'm gonna read for a little bit. I've got my oldest, his salad is done. He's just finishing up some stuff before he can eat, and my 2 littles are gonna have mac and cheese instead. That's it for today though. What did we get done? We got kombucha, we did elderberry syrup, I got some honey, garlic starting to ferment. That's their mac and cheese. I'm gonna finish that up for them, but thanks so much for hanging out with me today and just kind of puttering around the kitchen, getting a few things done. Oh, we also finished, we froze the bell peppers, the mini bell peppers, so they wouldn't go bad either. So I think that's it, and washed a ton of dishes. Thanks so much for hanging out with me in the kitchen today. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, would you give it a thumbs up? It really helps me and the channel, and if you don't know, if you just need to be reminded, maybe the one to tell you that you are deeply and truly loved and so appreciated. I really appreciate you taking your time out and hanging out here with me. My little one's coming because he heard the timer. Thanks for watching.